Hello friends, welcome to Crafting with Mary. I am going to do my very first WIP and chat today, so we'll see how this goes. I've not done one before, so I do have some tag questions that were sent to me that I'm going to go over. So let's see where this goes. And welcome if you are new. Welcome back if you have been here before. Please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you don't mind. It does help out from what I hear. I guess I don't know. I haven't been doing this quite long enough to know, but so we are going to give this a try. I am working on, let me pull this up here. I am working on Wizard Spell from Diamond Art Club. It is a 94 by 70 centimeter square kit. I am doing a couple events with this canvas. I am doing Oz and Og. They allowed this one because of the wizard, and there's it looks like a green road going up there. It looks like it's a mountain river valley, but so they allowed this one. And then I'm also using this one for DP Once Upon a Story, and so it's about any kind of book. So I'm doing the Harry Potter books because that kind of gives me those vibes. I've never read them. I've seen the movies, but so that's what we're going with. So that is what I am working on today. Off to the right of me, I do have my Elizabeth Ward system that I'm using for this. I have two trays, well, 1 3/4 trays, but that is my, I know it's kind of close up, but that is my first tray that I have going. I'm going to go over, I'm also using this pen. It is from Shimmering Canvases. I bought this one, gosh, it's been a little while ago. Let's see if I can get in the screen good here. So very pretty. And then I have my little cover minder is one that I made myself. It's like a little magnifying glass, I think. Yep, it does magnify a little bit, but I made that myself. And then my yellow dog tray. This is the extra large, and I went with the funnel. And they give you this different stopper when you use the funnel top. I'm not sure what the exact word is, but that is, I think that's so pretty. So using that tray, have my Diamond Art Club tweezers, and then I am just using for this one, I am just using the Diamond Art Club wax. I don't have too much trouble with it, even with ABs. It depends, you know, if obviously when you have fresh wax, yes, it's not great with ABs, but I kind of dirty it up. And this is my funnel, my Elizabeth Ward funnel that I use from Zodiac Shadows. And then my little trash drill. You can see I have, that's not just from one kit. I just keep using this over and over, and I 3D printed this myself, so it's not perfect. Was one of my first things I kind of was checking out, but I think he's cute. I like owls, so that is my trash drill. And then my trinket tray that holds all my things is this here, and I had that made by Nikki with Lady Lathe Creations. She made that for me. So those are the things that I will be using for this particular kit. Sorry, trying not to move this. Kind of hard to set up with my space that I have, getting my camera and everything set up so it wasn't right in my way while I'm trying to paint. So we'll see how this goes. I really kind of need things moved up a little, but I couldn't get the camera in, so get everything in the camera. So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully I don't spill everything everywhere. And then trying to answer questions and paint at the same time is going to be a wonderful challenge because I can't necessarily talk and do things at the same time. So, let's see here. All right, so let me get my first color that I need. And I'm going to show you once again here. Let's see, I do all mine by numbers and then letters. And then I will start, I guess it kind of starts here, but then I'll start with symbols and I just put it in DMC order as the symbols come. And as you can see, like here I have three different drills that I'm using for this symbol. And here I also have, well, there's two up there and one here. This symbol I have, two different ones that I'm using. So that is how I mark things up. If you're curious, I have lots of enhancements in this one. There's, I believe, 88 colors, and I have maybe 10 that I'm not using enhancements for. So it is quite heavily blinged out. I'm still iffy about it. I'm finally getting far enough along in it that I think I'm liking it. I got this one little section to finish of this row, and then I will kind of take it off my table, how I have my setup. I remove it from my table then and kind of take pictures and video and different stuff. And then that's when I can look and decide if I really like it or not. But at first I was kind of like, I'm not so sure. Is it too much bling? My boyfriend was like, no, I love it. It looks really cool. So I'm going to keep going with the process and see how it turns out. I've done that before when I started, first doing my own bling. I kind of would question, and then once I would get done, I would love it. So here I am again. I'm going to do that. And also, if you're wondering, this is a very well used one, as you can see, but I do love my little finger cover. I don't know what you call them, but you can get these on Amazon. I bought a little package of maybe 10 of them or something, and this helps protect my finger. You start to get that little nub on there and it hurts. So anyway, all right, back to, let's see, my first color. No ones. I'm not seeing twos. I don't see three. Oh, there's a couple threes in there. So let me try and do this around the camera. Sorry if it's a little awkward looking. It's a little awkward for me. And I might have to move let's see. Typically I hold this down here or set it on my table, but like I said, well, here we go. I'm gonna move that up a little bit. Hopefully I'm mostly in the screen for you. All right, and off we go. My first drill in this section. I can't wait to get this section done so I can look at it and see what I think. And then I'm also doing another canvas for 2 other events. Eveline, Mother of the Woodlands by Diamond Art Club, if you're familiar with that, I am doing for the Cheryl Baker event, which is actually the first event that I had planned on doing for August. It was the first one I had heard about, earlier in the year, and I was only going to do that event. And then I follow Crafting with Shay on YouTube, and she had talked about this Oz and Og, and I was like, oh, huh. I bet that'd be a fun one. So I was like, do I have anything? And I came across this kit and I was like, okay, I'm going to try doing 2 paintings at once and see how it goes. And then I was on somebody else's live, and an event they were doing came up and they're like, oh, join. So that one is DP Once Upon a Story. And that is Lizzie with Gems World. Shoot, I'll link that stuff all down below. I can't remember exactly her YouTube name. So I joined that one, and then also in another live I heard about the Great Escape. So I could use both of the canvases I was already doing for both of those. So I'm like, okay, I'll join those. And it's been a little bit hectic, trying to keep up with everything, but I'm doing it. So, all right, that was all the threes. So it's been interesting. I feel like it's been a month already, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the beginning. Like, they're still telling people they can join. I feel like it should be over. So I'm trying to I feel like I'm falling behind this week. I've had some things going on that has not allowed me to diamond paint as often as I kind of needed to keep up with everything. So we'll see. And none of them have to be finished for the event, so it's not a big deal. I have other events that I'm starting also after these that I don't want to not have these done. I'm actually a one WIP person, and so having unfinished paintings kind of bothers me. So that is my story. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have just the typical single placer in one end, and then I use the Diamond Art Club 12 placer in my other end, and I'm finding it, look, it is starting to bend a little bit. I've been seeing people having trouble with that, and I'm not really a hard placer or anything, and I don't really rock my tip when I pick up or lay down, so I don't know, we'll see. I have bought a few other ones just in case. I've been seeing people have them break, and I'm like, oh no, better have a few extra on hand just in case. So I did pick up a couple more just in case there's issues. Do you place, oh, I guess you guys, well, I guess you're a little upside down looking at, I couldn't get my camera to do the angle that I'm actually placing, for me, I'm actually placing horizontally. I think in the camera it's going to look like I'm placing vertically, but are you a horizontal or a vertical placer when you multi-place? I do both. I started out, well, when I first started out, I had my canvas flat. I didn't have an easel or a light pad or anything like that, but then I found out about light pads and easels. So then I started out on an easel, and I found I placed vertical more when I was on an easel. Not that I couldn't do it horizontally, but then recently I went to laying my canvas flat, and I noticed I start placing horizontally more than vertically. I still do vertically. It just depends on what I can get more. Not wanting to pick up. What I can get more area with. But how do you do it? Do you find you're more vertical or horizontal? I know I have a friend of mine, I had asked her one day, and she said she does horizontal, but she also works on a flat surface. So I wondered if that made a difference to people or not. So I don't know, let me know how you place. Let's see here. Alright, so I'm gonna do some of these tag questions, and I did read through them and kind of tried to think of, because some of them are a little challenging. I was listening to somebody else's WIP and chat, and they had some tag questions that were a little bit different. I'm like, oh, those are fairly easy tag questions. They were basically more all about diamond painting. And I thought, oh, those would be really easy. These are some tough questions. Whoever came up with these questions, there's some tough questions, some thinkers for sure. So the first question, what is the one thing you appreciate about your physical appearance? I'm not really sure how to answer that one. I guess I can appreciate my height, maybe. I'm not too short and I'm not too tall, which I actually found out in the last few years that I'm considered tall, which I didn't think that, and then I looked it up. I'm 5'7", and to me that's not really tall, but then I kind of was looking back at some pictures with, some friends and stuff, and I'm like, I guess I kind of am tall compared to all of them. And I looked it up, and the average American woman height is 5'4". I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I have a lot of shorter friends, I realized, looking at pictures. I was like, oh, wow, I guess I am one of the taller ones. So that was kind of interesting. So I guess I do kind of like my height. I'm not, like, I don't feel like I'm too tall, and I don't feel like I'm too short either, which I think it's a nice height. My jawline, I've been told that I have a nice jawline. It's like a square jawline. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I've been told, and I thought it was kind of odd that I have like an exotic type look to me, and I'm like, oh, never would have thought of that, but okay. And the funniest thing that I've been getting lately in the last couple years, I guess, I've been getting so many compliments on my eyebrows. Like, my eyebrows? People are always saying, oh, I love your eyebrows. So, interestingly enough, I guess I kind of like my eyebrows. I don't know. I've always had like a colic in one of them, and so I have hairs that grow straight up. Well, I've plucked them for so long, I have a bald spot now. And I've had people ask if, did I have an injury or something like that, that it, lost them. Nope. I just plucked them to death. So it's kind of an interesting thing. When people ask about it, I always kind of try and keep it hid by my hair, because I don't know. I don't know. I just always kind of keep it hid from by my bangs. All right. Next question. What is the one thing you are most grateful for in your relationships and friendships? I guess I would have to say my few closest friends. I would say I appreciate honesty and truthfulness, like being able to talk to them and not, how do I put it, and not being able to talk openly about situations that might offend. Like, say you have something going on in your life and you talk to somebody about it, and typically somebody is afraid to question, why are you doing that? Or they'd be afraid, it would upset them or something like that. My a couple of closest friends, I would say we have a good relationship that way, where I can be like, well, what do you think about this? Or I can always look at both sides of things, or I try and bring out both sides of things, like kind of be the devil's advocate. If they're upset about something, or somebody did something, or anything like that. I tend to try and see both sides of everything. Even with my own stuff, when somebody does something stupid or whatever, I always try and see the good in people, and why did they do that, and look at things from their side, their perspective. So I would say I appreciate that about my couple very good friends, that we can have those kind of conversations and not get upset with each other, and and be upset that you're questioning why we did that or why we reacted like that, or you can sit down and actually have those conversations and those back and forths and those types of things. So I appreciate that when people can be that way and not just blow up and get upset because you're not taking their side. And it's not a not taking their side, it's seeing things from both sides and why something happened, or you know what I mean, hopefully you know what I mean. So yeah. Alright, let me get these placed. Having trouble picking those up. And I will. Oh, and I typically, this is a small section for me. It's 2 of Diamond Art Club's perforated sections, 2 and a sliver. There was a sliver over here. Typically I do 4 at a time. But this is, the size of this canvas just happened to be, there was, this much left over after I did, I think 3 sections of 4 squares. So I probably will not get through this whole section while we have this WIP and chat. And by the way, if you do not know what WIP and chat is, WIP stands for work in progress. And we chat. Well, I chat to you. So next question. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned from failure? Valuable lesson you've learned from failure. Well, I don't like failure. I don't know anybody that does. But the most valuable lesson from failure, I guess, I try really hard not to fail at things. Because, who wants to fail? But I guess, lesson learned from failure. Get up and keep going. Don't let it stop you. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a time that I failed, honestly. I don't try and take things on that I know I can't do, so. But if I do, I try not to give up until I've at least completed what I'm doing, or, I may not do something again. But, I did, I will tell this little story, and I think it kind of applies. Several years back now, I did the, I don't know if you've ever heard of, wine and canvas. It's where you go and you can drink wine or whatever and paint on a canvas, and you follow an instructor. She gives you step-by-step instructions on how to paint this picture. I'm not a painter. I'm not a crafty person. This is as crafty as I get. I'm starting to get more. I've never, I can copy something. That doesn't seem to be a problem, but coming up with my own is a little bit more difficult for me. I'm starting to learn that maybe I can do it a little bit more than I thought. Anyways, decided to do this wine and canvas. My very first time, went with a friend, and you start, and they tell you, now you're gonna start, you're gonna think, oh, it looks great, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be, it looks horrible. Just trust the process, basically. Same with diamond painting, just trust the process. And so I did, I went back and forth. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this. This is ugly. This is horrible. This is not going to turn out. And I would continue, like they say, just keep going. Okay, I'm going to keep going. And then I'd be like, oh, that looks really cool. I'm really going to like this. And then, it went back and forth, the whole time I was there. I loved it. I hated it. I loved it. I hated it. And not the actual painting, just what my image was looking like. I was like, that's going to be horrible. So then you get done, and I'm like, oh, it is actually kind of cool. It turned out pretty good. I did that all on my own. I mean, you know, you have the instructions, but man, I did that. And so, you know, then you bring it home. It's still wet, and you know how things are when they, you know, dry. They still kind of change a little bit. So I brought it home. It sat overnight. I got up the next morning, and it dried, so, you know, then the color changes a little bit and things settle and all that. And I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, I did that. I was so proud of myself that I actually painted this thing. I was like, how in the world did I do that? Because I am so not crafty. So then I went on and did it several more times, and I actually have all my paintings hanging here up actually right behind me in my walls. So yeah. But another quick little side note story about that. Years ago, me and, you know, my then husband were building a new house. He was building it, and I had picked out the colors for all the rooms. Well, I picked out, it was called Chivalry Copper from Sherwin-Williams. It was like kind of like a burnt orange type color, and it was going to be most of our downstairs, up the stairway. It was a lot of area. I loved this color. I fell in love with this color. And so we were to the point of painting. We had some friends come over, and me and my mom were doing all the trim work, and then we had some friends gonna do, you know, the rolling and things like that. And it had gotten, you know, evening time. We had lights set up, and I don't remember what I was doing, but I came downstairs where one of the guys was rolling, and I looked at it, and I was like, stop, hold up, just stop right now. I hate the color. And we had gallons and gallons of this, you know, because, you know, double coat everything, and it was a large area, and I was like, oh my gosh. So put a halt to that. The next morning I was going to run to Sherwin-Williams and see what we could do, if they could add color. I don't even know. So next morning I went to Sherwin-Williams. I was like, we have all this paint. I don't like the color. What can we do? And we kind of talked about some different options. I can't even remember what they said at the time, but it just really was going to be expensive to fix and all this stuff. Well, so I went up to the house, and it was kind of sad, and I walked in. It was a nice, bright, sunny, you know, morning, and I walked in and had seen where it was painted, and, you know, it had dried by this time. And I walked in, and I was like, oh, I love this color. So if you're ever painting something and hate it, let it dry overnight. Words of wisdom. You may still hate it the next day. I don't know, but just saying, it's gonna look different once it's dry. And then, you know, even putting the next coat on it, it just, you know, deepens it. So anyway, we were able to proceed with the color and did not have to waste money or throw anything out or change anything or anything like that. So there's that little story. Okay, next question. If you could learn any language instantly, which would you choose? I am going to say Creole, only because I lived in Haiti for 3 years, and I kind of was trying to learn the language. It wasn't very easy. I could understand it and read it a little bit better than I could speak it. It's a mixture of French, Spanish, and English. So that would be kind of a mixture of all those languages. So sometimes I can read a little French and sometimes I can read a little Spanish only because I know a little bit of Creole, which it's been several years now since I've lived there, so it takes a minute for me to pick it up. But I used to know that word. What does that mean? So I do have, friends on Facebook and stuff that are from Haiti, and though, I'll see them comment and write back and forth in Creole, and I'm like, man, I wish I knew. I mean, obviously you can hit the little see translation button, but I wish I could just read it. It would be nice to just know the language. So yeah, I would have to say Haitian Creole. What is your favorite way to start the day? I don't know that I really have a favorite. I typically, when I wake up, I kind of reach over and grab my phone and I'll get on and check things out for the day. Check my email, get on Facebook for a few minutes and or Instagram. And then typically like 3 days a week, I get up and I work out to Beachbody on-demand videos. So I did that and then make my protein shake and then shower and get on with my day. The days that I don't do that, I will just kind of get up and shower and get on with my day. I don't drink coffee or I don't drink caffeine at all, so can't start out with sipping coffee or anything like that. But yeah, that's typically, I don't know, that's just how my morning usually starts. So yeah, favorite, least favorite, I don't know, it's just how it is, right? What is your favorite way to spend a rainy day? Well, for me anymore, that's diamond painting, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I diamond paint quite a bit these days, so I do it on rainy days, sunny days, whatever days. Yeah, so rainy day, I like to diamond paint. Next question. There's only 10 and I'm at 7 already. Wow. What's your favorite movie quote? Oh man. Well, I don't necessarily really watch a ton of movies, and then here's something kind of funny. I don't really remember movies or TV shows well. Like I could watch it over and over and not remember things. I don't know, is that kind of weird? I don't know. Some people are like, oh, I can quote every word. And I'm like, I could never. Like, I love Star Wars, and I've watched, especially the early movies, a lot. And I still don't. I'll watch them again, and I still don't really remember everything that happens. And I learn new stuff every time. I'm like, oh, I don't remember that the first time. So, or any of the 100 million times that I've seen it. So, I'm not really good with quotes, but I will tell you, I can't handle the truth is one that I remember. And of course, I can't really remember the movie title. Tom Cruise, Jack Nicklaus, or Nicholson. Jack Nicholson. Shoot, what's the name of that movie? Can't remember, see? And then the other one is You Had Me at Hello. Again, a Tom Cruise movie. Can't think of the name of it. But I don't know why those two lines just stick out to me, but they do. Next question. If you won the lottery, how would you spend the money? You know, I would like to have a condo. Well, to be honest, I'd like to be kind of in the middle of nowhere. Out on a, farm, but I don't want to take care of all that. So I would really like a condo. Obviously, I'd like to pay some bills off, but what I would also like to do, I, don't need or want anything super extravagant or anything like that. So, me and my boyfriend would like to get a safe house opened up for human trafficked victims, survivors, victims, boys, girls, men, women, all of the above. So I would definitely want to help with getting that push forward, because it is, very costly to do that, we are finding, because there's so much involved and so much needed, and you can't have all of the, male, female, or younger and older together, and so they have to be several, and just a lot of, you need medical and schooling and caregivers and, food, and just there's so much stuff involved. So yeah, I would probably put a good portion to that. I mean, obviously it depends on how much you win in the lottery, but a lot would be nice, of course. Who wouldn't want a lot? But hey, I'd take whatever and figure it out, right? So yeah, I would help out with that for sure, because we've been working on it for a while now, and there's a lot to it and a lot to get it going, and it's just a lot, and there's so many out there in need. A lot that you probably honestly don't even realize, because I did not until, because my boyfriend, when we met, he was big involved in helping with that, and so getting our own, trying to get it up and going, it's not easy, but hopefully one day we can get there, and hopefully help a lot of people. Next question, number 9 already. What is the best excuse for getting out of, aka quitting, something you don't want to do? Well, first off, I don't typically commit to things I don't want to do. So, oh shoot, I try and stay in line. Obviously, sometimes I get out, but I'm going to have to pull my 8 back out. See, I don't typically commit to things I don't want to do. However, if I do commit to something, I do it. I don't, I just personally, I can't back out of stuff. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it, whether I really want to or not. I won't commit to something that I really, really don't want to do. So I don't know if that really answers that question, but just don't commit to stuff you don't want to do, right? I don't know. Let's see, Jay. Does anybody else use the little dryer sheets for static? It seems to work pretty good for me. I know some people use Static Guard, which I keep forgetting to try that when I sit down to kit up. I have my little static sheets or fabric sheets here, but I always forget to grab the Static Guard and try that. I've tried alcohol, I think. Yes, I have tried alcohol, and that seems to work. Take it on a Q-tip and swirl it around in the bag, but sometimes I forget to get that stuff, and I just deal with it. Sometimes I get very aggravated. My boyfriend knows if he looks over here and I'm getting very aggravated about drills popping all over, he leaves me alone. He's like, yeah, I saw you over there. I wasn't going to mess with you. So anyways, yeah. Question number 10. What is your favorite way to recharge and find inner peace? Diamond painting. I don't know, I can sit down and do this and, like everybody else, it just kind of calms me down and I can think and just in my own little world. Sometimes I get lost in my own little world. I'll be watching, a YouTube or have the TV on. And sometimes I just don't even hear anything going on, even though there's something going on, which is kind of odd for me because typically when there's more than one thing, like if I have YouTube on and the TV's on, which that can't happen because I can't deal with that. Like I hear absolutely nothing, then I can't concentrate on either. But sometimes I'll be over here diamond painting and have that on, and then I just zone out somehow. I'm not sure how it happens, honestly, but it does. And I don't even hear, and then I'll hear somebody laugh or, whoever I'm watching, they'll laugh or something, and then I'll be like, oh, what did I just miss? And I'll have to go back, if unless it's a live, obviously, then you really can't, but you kind of then look in the comments like, oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? So I guess I have to say diamond painting. Just kind of relaxes me. I'm thinking about what I'm doing, and sometimes I can take my mind off of other things going on, and then other times it's a place where my mind just processes stuff going on. So I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes my brain just kicks on and starts working really good. I think of, ideas and things, and other times it can just shut off and I'm just looking at letters and colors or symbols, I should say. And I go to town on what I'm doing. So, my boyfriend, however, he can do, I am always amazed. Like, he'll have an earbud in, and he'll be listening to some trainings on his laptop, and we'll have a TV show on, and he can do both. And I'm like, how do you, do that? And he'll be reading something else, too. Shoot. He'll be reading something else while he's... Oh, did I drop one? I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. And then he can take a test and get 100% on whatever he's listening to. It's beyond me. I am not that smart. I'm not that good. I can't do two verbal things at the same time. Listen to two things and get anything out of either. So I have been always a pretty good multitasker and able to prioritize, and when many things are happening and, do good. But these last couple years have been really crazy. I had, a death that has really affected me a couple years ago that you know, you think you're going out of your mind and how you're feeling is just, you're crazy. But then you talk to other people that have had a death and you find out that, nope, that's normal crazy. I mean, you're still crazy, not a bad crazy, but you still, you know, have things going on that people that aren't going through what you're going through aren't experiencing. And but then I also think I am hitting menopause, and I am reading different things that can happen from that, and I'm like, maybe that's why I kind of feel like I'm not the same. Like, I definitely just feel like my focus and stuff is a little bit off. Like, I always used to be on it and organizing everything. You know, I could do a million things at once, basically, and except listen to 2 different things. Anyway, I just feel like I've kind of not been able to do that like I used to, and it kind of bugs me. But I think, you know, I go see my doctor in a couple weeks, so I'm going to talk to her, and I'm assuming that's what it is. I sure hope so. I mean, not that I hope so, but I hope it's just that. And, you know, so I think between the 2 things, I just my focus is just off, trying to deal with it. So, but, so diamond painting has been, you know, helpful for that. Just kind of relaxes me. And, man, this section doesn't have, let's see, skipping through a lot of colors. Goodness. Hopefully I'm not just overlooking them. So, if you guys would, you know, like to answer any of these questions as well in my comments, or if you're a creator and would like to use these questions, let me know and I will send them to you. And I would love to hear what some of you have to say about some. If you don't want to answer everyone, answer a couple of them or one of them. You know, I don't care. I would just love to hear from you and hear what you have to say. And let me know if you know, how I'm doing, how you know, how's my volume, how's my video quality. I've been playing around with some different lighting and a couple different cameras and some different microphones. I don't know, my boyfriend has all this different stuff, and sometimes even like today he's, you know, out of town, so I don't know when, speaking of that, I don't know when this is going to go up. Today is Thursday, August 15th. When I am filming this, and he has been out of town since Saturday. He is, however, on his way home. I didn't know if he was going to be coming home today or not. He's got some cases out of town that he had to go out of town for, and apparently there was a continuance again. So I don't know. He is the one that does all my editing and, I don't know, creates all my stuff, I guess. I don't even know how to do it. I'm like, I don't even know how to edit my own videos or programs he uses, or I don't know. So he does all that for me, and he's just getting back at some point today. He's making a couple stops on his way home for some other cases. So I don't know when he will get this put up. I've done a few other videos while he's been gone that he will be able to post too. So we'll see when this actually gets up. And you know what? I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, he's been out of town, and so we shall see. We were both tired. Neither of us slept very well, you know, with him being away. He didn't sleep good. I didn't sleep good with him being away, so it'll be nice to have him home. He really does spoil me and pamper me, and like the other day I had to go out and do something, and it's like when we leave, he always locks the door. You know, we're in an apartment. We're in a 3rd floor apartment right now. He always locks the door for me. He always makes sure the garage is open. You know, he opens the door when we get home. You know, I just always have stuff in my hand, you know, my purse and whatnot I'll have in my hand, and he always takes the garbage out. He does the laundry for us. I mean, I do, you know, the cooking and the cleaning in the house and stuff like that. So we both, you know, have stuff that we do, and with him gone, sometimes I'm kind of like, what do I do now? Like, I have to take the garbage out. Like, what do I do? I have to put gas in my car. He always, you know, makes sure my car has gas in it. If I'm out, he'd be like, how much gas do you have? Come home, I'll run it. You know, I mean, he's just really sweet that way and takes care of me, and so I miss him when he's gone. You know, even when he's here, you know, if he gets up, do you need anything? Do you need a drink? Do you need, you know, whatever. If something falls, he picks it up for me. He's got me really, really spoiled. Like, can I do anything on my own anymore? Just kidding. I can. I do. That's what I always tell him. Like, you know, I can get it. He's like, I know, but I want to get it for you. So he's just really sweet. But he's always busy doing something. I don't know. He likes reading. He likes online courses. He's always doing something. If he takes a quiz or a test or anything like that, if he doesn't get 100%, he is not happy with himself, and he says, I'll pay to retake it till I get 100%. He's so funny. So yeah. Did anybody, or is anybody going on sign up for or planning to sign up for the cruise diamond painting event that Leopard Leatherworks is hosting or putting on? Let me know, because we signed up for it, and it's next year, September, and I'd just like to know if anybody else is going. I haven't really seen who all's going. There hasn't been any, you know, the sign up is going on, and I know they're working on, you know, getting all the detail together and stuff like that. As far as the cruise itself, we have all the information, but they're still working out the details for the actual diamond painting event, and I'm sure they're going to be putting together a group or something so everybody can meet everybody that's going, so we can connect up, kind of. I'm sure, I would think that would happen, but I know everybody's busy, so just kind of curious if anybody else has decided to go or not, or what events or diamond painting retreats are you hoping to go to? I would love to go to the Great Lakes retreat. It is not far from me at all. It's, I don't know, maybe 30 to 45 minutes away from me. I didn't know about it soon enough this past year. I was hoping to go. There were some spots that opened up last minute, but it just didn't work out. You know, I was hoping to be able to, and then last minute my boyfriend's car broke down, and my mom was having a hip surgery like the week before, so I, you know, was helping take care of her, and didn't necessarily want to be, you know, commit to being out of town, or not really out of town, but be available for her. So I'd really like to go to that one next year too. But we'll see. I'm trying to, I think I remember Jennifer saying sign up for that was in October. Open sign up, I think. People that have already gone and things like that can sign up sooner, but they open it up then to what's left in October. So it's nice that they do it in advance so you can then, you know, make smaller payments, which is nice instead of a big lump sum, which is what would have had to happen. You know, this year it was $650 per person, so there was 2 of us, so that equates to what, $1,300, like, boom, now. So, and when you need a car and all this other stuff, it just didn't work. So yeah, I would love to go to that one. A lot of the YouTubers that I watch do go to that one as well. And it just looked like I had seen a few short videos or lives that people had, you know, got on for a few minutes that, you know, it just looked like it was a lot of fun, and I've heard a lot of fun things about it. So, what are you going to, or have you gone to, or would like to go to? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Sorry, I seem to say a lot because I'm thinking. Thinking and talking. So I say so I apologize. See, I told you we would not get near done. It's been almost an hour. I cannot believe it has been almost an hour. That hour, I've heard other people say that it goes fast, but it really, really did. And I don't like to, I know some people like longer videos, and some people don't. So, I'm not really sure what else. I don't have, oh, I can tell you, I did go on vacation in July. We went, me and my boyfriend and my son that lives here near me went to Oak Island, North Carolina, and met up with my other son and his fiance and her family at Oak Island, North Carolina. They vacation there every year. Her family vacation there, my son's fiance. Family vacations there every year for years and years. And we kind of, you know, we're like, hey, last year, can we join? So there's a significant reason that, you know, we did, but it's the anniversary of the death I was referring to, and I just wanted to be with my kids. So we did that again this year, and we ended up, last year it was last minute, so we got a house, but it was a little bit further inland, about 15 minutes from where they were on the beach. So this year we got the house right next door to them on the beach, which made a huge difference and was really nice. And so we got to see a sea turtle laying her eggs on the beach. That was really cool. Another night there was one of the ones that had come up, I think it's 60 days, around 60 days, if I remember correctly, that, you know, the eggs then will hatch. And while we were there, another turtle's eggs was getting ready to hatch, and we walked down there. It was about 9 or 9:30 at night, and it had from 9 or 9:30, whenever it was we got there, until I don't know if it was 11 or 11:30. Nothing changed. They could tell, you know, they knew the little turtle was trying getting up because the sand had caved in, but that whole time we were there, nothing really had changed. So turtles were still trying to get to the top. So we finally, me and my boyfriend, were like, we're really tired. We're going to go back to the house. It was a little hike back to the house. It wasn't too far, but enough, you know, that it was a little jaunt. So we went back to the house. My one son stayed down there with a couple other people that were with our group, and I think I, you know, had showered finally and started diamond painting, and we had just getting ready to get in bed. And I texted my son. I'm like, well, I could see he was still down there, and I texted him. I told him, I said, well, we're all climbing in bed. My other son and his fiance were in bed, and I said, we're getting ready to go to bed, climbing in bed. Make sure you lock the door and turn the lights off when you come in. and I put my phone on my charger and climbed to bed. And when I got up in the middle of the night a couple hours later, which I do every night, go to the bathroom, I checked my phone to make, and he had texted me within like a minute and said, they're hatching, they're coming. And I was just like, oh, crud, I missed it. It would have been so cool to be able to see that, but whatever. He got to see it. You couldn't do any videos because apparently the moonlight is what makes them, go into the ocean. Like they put up little, kind of like a runway because otherwise like porch lights and stuff like that will draw them inland. So the moon kind of helps guide them back out to the ocean. So that was kind of, really cool experience. Learned a lot because the ladies that were there with the, I don't know, whatever department it is that oversees all that stuff, some in our group were kind of asking a bunch of questions and they were answering them. And so it was really interesting. Learned a lot of stuff I did not know about sea turtles. So yeah, and then one day I really like military jets. I just have always been, planes in general, but military jets just kind of, for military aircraft basically, just kind of always have intrigued me, and I love watching them. I love going to air shows. I remember as a young kid, my parents used to go, we used to go up to, we're not far from the Detroit airport. It's about an hour. And we used to just drive up there and sit at the end of the runway, and the planes would take off and go right over us. And, I just love that. Air shows, love that. So anyway, some of our group was out actually on the beach, which wasn't far from our house, but I happened to be up at the house. Me and my one son were up at the house. I don't remember if we were eating something or what, and all of a sudden we heard military, we heard helicopters, and we both took off out the door and running down, there's like a decking walkway to the, then there's the I forget what you call it, like a little mound that the sea builds up, or they build up so the water doesn't hit the houses and stuff like that. And so we go running out there, and there's two helicopters, like the big Hueys, with the two, I don't even know what they're all called, but the big two blades on each end, the front and the back. And it was just really cool. They had the back ends down, and the guys were sitting waving. And so my child that was on the beach, like they were right, like not over top of them, but they were sitting on the beach and they were right at the beach line. So that was really cool. And then later that day, they came back again. And then even later, like dusk time, one of them went back by again. So it was really cool. I got to, get recordings of them all. And I don't know, it does it for me. I love seeing our military jets. And I don't live too far from the Toledo airport. And there is a 180th fighter wing that has a base there. And so every once in a while, jets will fly over here doing their practice runs and stuff like that. And in June, I believe it was June and July, they had done maintenance on them, and they like to do testing and put them through rigorous things and stuff like that. So we'll get, I'm on their Facebook page, and they were warnings of their you might hear a sonic boom, which if you've never heard a sonic boom from a jet, it is so awesome. And it was funny because I knew about it, but then I had forgotten, and I heard something. I thought a semi ran into the back of my apartment building, and I got up and I ran outside. I'm looking all over the place. I'm like, what in the world was that? And I'm just looking, like, I'm looking out the front, I'm looking out the back, I'm looking all over the place. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get on Facebook. Because then, you know, of course, I'm on some local Facebook groups that, you know, they always know everything that's going on. And I was like, oh, yeah, it was a sonic boom. And I was like, that was awesome. And then everybody was talking about it. So the next week, they decided to do it again because everybody was so, you know, hyped up about it and thought it was awesome. And so they did it again the following week. And so that was pretty cool to hear it again and remember that that's what's happening. So yeah, it was really, really cool to be able to see those military jets. And there was or helicopters, and then there was some jets that flew over also. There's, you know, obviously a military base down near that area we were in. Actually, my dad was stationed down there years and years ago. And so yeah, I just, anything military, it just, I don't know, I just love it. So those were kind of the exciting. I did, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law has gotten into diamond painting, and I got her mom into diamond painting as well. So they both now have been diamond painting, and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law had bought, you know, just a cute little kit off of Amazon and was doing it down there. And then I was working on Beach Vacation for an event, so I packed that baby up and I took it down there. If you know the size and all that of it, but it's a big one. And so they really liked those. Well, then, you know, I showed them the Diamond Art Club website, and they both ended up making a purchase from there. And my daughter-in-law was like, she got hers and she kind of started working on it. She's like, oh my gosh. I said, well, so how do you like it? What do you think? And she's, I'm trying to hurry up and get my Amazon kits done so I don't ever have to buy a cheap kit again or an Amazon kit again. And it just kind of made me chuckle. For those of you that, know. I still, when I first started diamond painting, I also got Amazon kits and things from other places, and there is definitely a quality difference. But that's okay if you don't buy Diamond Art Club. I don't, to each his own, right? And I know they are a bit more expensive, but there are always discount codes and things like that out there, and you do get rewards, and so but yeah, so got them into doing it. We did have one night where all of us diamond painted together, and then a couple nights me and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law painted together. We were staying in the same house. Her mom and dad and her brothers and some of their friends were staying in the house next to us. But yeah, it was a nice vacation. It's pretty relaxing. Last year when we went, our first time, I felt like we spent our time either at the grocery store or out, souvenir shopping a lot. And then we weren't staying on the beach, so we were running back and forth to our house, and it just kind of was a pain. And then trying to figure out meals when you're, out somewhere else all day, and I don't know. And we tried to go out to eat one time last year, and it ended up being kind of a fiasco. The time we went, everywhere was like booked for 2 hours, and it just was kind of crazy. So I'm like, all right, I guess, we're just going to have to cook this time. So I did. There was a few breakfasts that I made, so we had some leftovers for that, and a few dinners. We ordered pizza once. We went out another night. Just figured out the timing. We, realized we need to go out to dinner much sooner rather than later. So it worked out. And then we did end up going back to Raleigh, which is where my son and his fiance live, for a couple days. I had not been there since they moved there, so went and checked out where they were living, and just for a couple days, and then we came home, and that's quite the drive. That on our way down, we left, earlier on Friday and made it to a certain point. We drove, I don't know, 8 hours maybe, and stayed the night. Got there soon enough, we got a room and stayed the night and went out to dinner. And then the next day we got up and moseyed, we couldn't get in the house until about 4. And I wanted to stop at the grocery store before we got to the house so we didn't have to run back out and, all that stuff. So we just kind of moseyed. It's about 12 hours, 12, 13 hours. So we had a good time. And then got home, and then in October, my son's getting married in North Carolina again, different place, another, beach, but that one's going to be even like a 14-hour drive because you can't, it's not direct. You have to go around mountains and all this stuff. So trying to figure out that one. We had talked about maybe flying for that one, but I think we're going to drive and just do the same thing, just kind of mosey, so we're not in the car for too long, because I don't know, this getting old stuff, my body aches and I can't handle sitting, and but I don't want to stop. I just want to get somewhere. So that worked out really well to stop for us and be able to have that break. So that will most likely be what we do again. So yeah, if you listen to some of my other videos, my mom had her hip replacement in June, and she's doing pretty good. Apparently, they say she's not as far along progressed as she should, but I don't know. She seems like she's doing pretty good. She's able to walk around the house with no cane. They do want her to use it, when she's out. She doesn't have to use a walker anymore, but at least her cane just kind of help with her balance. She's going to therapy. My dad had his open heart surgery in April, and he's doing pretty good. He's still going to cardio rehab. There's been some issues come up. He will probably had a pacemaker put in December, and then the open heart in April, and I think some things got messed up with the pacemaker, so waiting to hear more on that as to when. I'm pretty sure he has to have another surgery to do something with the pacemaker. He's also not quite, I don't think, where he should be either, but so I do go over there and help them. They have quite the yard and a decent sized house, the house I grew up in, and there was 5 of us kids, so it's not a tiny house. It's not a huge house, but it's good size lot and all that stuff. So I've been helping them with some yard work and cleaning, and they have a basement that has stuff in it. They have a lot of my stuff in it that when we moved to Haiti, they took and stored for us, and now I'm in an apartment. When we moved back from Haiti, we were in a smaller house than what we had left, the house that we had built. We sold that, and we're in a much smaller house, so I couldn't, didn't really have room for all that. All right, y'all, so my camera died on me, and I don't remember where I ended, but I know I was finishing up because I talked all your ears off, and I don't even remember what I had talked about there at the end, but I did want to come back and finish this up, and thank you for joining me. If you made it this far, please leave a wizard emoji in the comments, and leave a comment, a question. Let me know what you thought, if you have any answers to these questions, if you'd like to answer any of them. I would certainly love to hear from you. And again, thank you for joining me. Subscribe. It's free, totally free. If you would like to get more content from me, just hit that little down arrow when you hit subscribe and say all for all content. I would definitely appreciate that. And hit the thumbs up button on this video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. I hope you have a great day, morning, evening, or morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.